Yeah, I'm gonna post this on my YouTube channel as best I can. I know I got a couple videos I gotta post on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna let y'all see where I'm at. That's the original Rockford Peaches Stadium. That's the original ticket entrance from that movie that was with Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, Lori Petty. Who else was in there that I can think of off the top of my head? Those are who I can remember. So I apologize. A lot of traffic here. Just waiting across the street. And then once I get across the street, I will turn you around so you can see all the wonderful stuff. Because this is a wonderful thing about going to Rockford. When I'm out here, I can do this stuff. And I don't get out here that often. And if my ex-husband has it his way, I'll be moving back out here. But, so y'all can see, this is where you would purchase or give your tickets. Start a little, there you go. You can see that. I'll let y'all pause to read that. Zoom a little bit. My phone will work today. There we go. But yeah, there were two sides that you entered in at. I don't know what that said. It's long rusted away because there's one on each side. And then that would have been the field. There would have been bleachers somewhere along here. You can even see the original steps to get into the field. Back end of both. I know I took photos for my aunt many years, a few years ago for Easter. And I gave it to her. I actually printed the photos up and actually gave it to her in a photo album. And it said Rockford Peaches, and there's kids, there's a school going on, but it does say Buyer Field, Rockford's Field of Dreams, Center of Athletic and Social Events for nearly 70 years, and home of the Rockford Peaches from 1943 to 1954. The flags and plaque are gifts from Mr. and Mrs. Tom Mott in honor of their three generations who played and enjoyed Buyer Stadium. Buyer Field, rededicated on June 5th, 2010. And then, in honor of Rockford Forest City Baseball Club of 1865 to 1871, and I will zoom in, and I'll let y'all pause to read that if you can. Well, that equinox is done. That's scrapped. And then, of course, football. I'll let y'all zoom in. Let y'all pause and read. Like I said, that was the field there. I'm assuming the path came this way and you would enter, well, the teams would enter into. So, track and field. Y'all can pause and read that too. But yeah, the field, I would assume, I'm not too sure which one was the opposing and which one was the home. I don't know, I apologize. So somebody can correct me as to which side is which for which team. And then here's where we get into the Buyer Stadium, the original home of the Rockford Peaches. The original ticket booth still stands. And it does, because we passed through it and I showed you guys it. I'll let y'all pause and read. I'm used to different bugs in Texas. And then more on the Rockford Peaches. I'll let y'all pause and read. A League of Their Own, where you can see Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, and Madonna. It says A League of Their Own, a movie about Rockford Peaches, was a commercial success, making $147 million worldwide. And then there's the original Dottie and Lou and Helen. I know Helen was another character in the movie. I don't know who Lou was. I've never heard of Lou, but you can see who she was. Dorothy Dottie Ferguson Key, which would have been Dottie Henson in the movie. There are the Peaches. You can also go to, actually, yeah, it even tells you who they all are. You can all pause to read that too. Welcome to the Peach Orchard, home of the Rockford Peaches All-American Girls Baseball League champions 1945, 1948, 1949, and 1950. So it looks like they won it 3 years back to back, kind of like our Chicago Bulls did the 6P. The first three, 1991, 1992, and 1993. And then 96, 97, and 98 for all you sports fanatics. I was old enough to remember that. And this is Helen Sis Waddle Wyatt. Y'all can pause to read that. And then here is Miss Dottie, as she was known in the movie, Dottie Henson. But this is her real name, Dorothy Dottie Ferguson Key. And y'all can pause to read that. And then we have the Rockford Peaches Batgirls. Y'all can pause to read that. Hopefully I'm far enough away. I've got the sun. It's kind of bright out today. And then Louise Lou Erickson Sauer, or Sauer, I believe it's Sauer. If somebody knows that, please correct me. I apologize. It is a German last name. I should know how to pronounce it. I do have that German blood in me, like my ex-husband does. So there is the baseball diamond. Straight ahead of us here, that is the baseball diamond there. There's kids playing. Like I said, I do apologize. So I know there was a way I could get in. And I thought I did the one time. Ah, yes, there is. So probably this is where the original bleachers sat. Like I said, one is the home, one is the opposing team. I do not know left or right who is home and who is opposing. I just know the dugouts for professional, but it's been a while since I've been to a professional baseball game, which was the Chicago Cubs in 2023, I believe. My ex-husband and I went with his aunt and his sister, and his aunt wore jeans and a sweatshirt, assuming it was going to be cold that day, and it was like 102 or something like that. So Rockford Peaches Girls Professional Baseball League. This was all painted. Rockford Starfires, which I believe is the like AAA for the Peaches. And actually that looks like that came straight from the movie there. A couple of these actually look like they were characters from the movie. And now you get to see the baseball diamond a little better because, yeah, you can walk out onto the baseball diamond and see everything. Like I said, please, somebody tell me, left or right, who is the opposing and who is the home. I'm assuming where it said Rockford Peaches was probably the home team, and then this one where it states the years was probably the opposing team. But it is still used for baseball games, stuff like that. Obviously, it is a still genuine working field at this point in time. is a track on top of it. You can run track here too, but one of their first championships, 49, 47, I guess 52, they won a championship in 49. But yeah. Rockford Peaches scorecards, price 5 cents. And apparently people left stuff here. So, that is the Rockford Peaches original stadium. It still stands here in Rockford. May have been done once or twice. I'm not too sure. I need to look up the history on this field to see what the specifics are at this point in time. But like I did say, this is where the Peaches did play back when 1940s, when World War II was going on. I know my mother actually went to a couple South Bend Blue Sox because we have property out in Leidick, Indiana, and the South Bend Blue Sox played right by where our property is. I believe the field is like 2 to 3 miles. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. I would have to do the calculations again from where our property is located to where the property of the South Bend Blue Sox was located. And that is permanent there. That isn't chalk. That is actually brick there. The rest of it's chalk. That is permanent. That's chalk. This is all permanent here. I went to Lowe's, Home Depot, and got that stuff. I got sand in my shoe at this point in time. But yes. And like I said, Peaches. Rockford Peaches. Alrighty, now I gotta go take my ex-husband's truck up to where he had it repaired at Body Lines. Apparently the bed has separated from the cab, so I don't know. I may have to stay out here in Illinois a little bit longer. I'm gonna be mad. I want to go back to Texas and see my babies. I miss my alley cat. I miss my little G. I also got them gifts too, so I know. Record that video a while back, a few minutes ago I recorded it. So I gotta continue dashing so I can pay for my hotel tonight. Otherwise I'm sleeping in the goddamn truck and I'm not gonna sleep in that damn bitch. So unless I can convince Jeremy to pay for the hotel tonight, but I don't think he will. But I am trying to convince him to help me look for an apartment out here because he does want me to move out here. A lot of people are getting suspicious as to why he wants me to move out here. If I find out the real reason why he wants me to move out here, other than he wants to keep an eye on his truck, so if God forbid something does happen that I borrowed the truck, I just drive like an Illinois and Texas, which means drive like shit. Oh, and as for the case today, that's why I was out here for Mr. Coster's case. Here. I will book to. I forgot about this portion of it. But it says this is all the teams. Rockford Peaches, 1943 to 1954. South Bend Blue Sox, like I stated, South Bend, Indiana. 1943 to 1954. Kenosha Comets, which would have been Kenosha, Wisconsin, 1943 to 1951. Racine Bells, who is also is actually depicted in the movie too. That is where they had the first championship game. Also, Racine, Wisconsin, 1943 to 1950. Milwaukee Chicks came in at 1944, which is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Minneapolis Millerettes, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 1944. Fort Wayne Daisies, which would be Fort Wayne, Indiana, 1945 to 1954. Grand Rapids Chicks, which is Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1945 to 1954. Muskegon Lassies. I'm not too sure if it's Muskegon, Illinois, or Muskegon, Indiana. I know there's a few at maybe Muskegon, Wisconsin. I'm not too sure. 1946 to 1950. Peoria Red Wings, which is from Central Illinois here, 1946 to 1951. Chicago Collins, which is obviously Chicago, Illinois, 1948 to 1950. Springfield Sallies, which is from Springfield, Illinois, 1948 to 1950. It does say at the bottom where the Star does state Colleen's and Sally's were rookie touring teams in the 1949 and 1950. So, hey. Kalamazoo Lassies. That would be Kalamazoo, Michigan from 1950 to 1954. Battle Creek Bells, which would be Battle Creek, Michigan, 1951 to 1952, and then Muskegon Bells, 1953. Like I said, I'm not too sure because there's two Muskegons here, the Muskegon Lassies and the Muskegon Bells. So I'm not too sure if that's Muskegon, Illinois, Muskegon, Indiana, Muskegon, Wisconsin. I think it might even be Muskegon, Alabama. I'm not too sure. I don't know how many states actually legitimately had teams for the girls' professional baseball league, because it was shunned upon while the boys were overseas, but it was shunned upon due to the fact women belonged in the kitchen in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But at this point in time, the women belong anywhere. Women belong in the workforce. And to quote the great Gary Marshall, "Quick, Rosie, go home. Go turn your rivets in. The men are back from war. Go cook in the kitchen," or something along those lines. Y'all can correct me, too. I don't care. Y'all can put in the comments what actually it was. Because I believe, not Gary Marshall said it, the other actor he plays in a few movies. One of them is Misery, and he plays the father, not Misery, Loris Claiborne. He played Mr. St. George in that movie. Sorry, I had to think about who he played. So, and of course, I'm in the sun, and it's like 80 degrees out, and I'm like, I'm used to the burning on my back, because obviously, I live in Texas the last few months. So, we'll take a little walk down these steps. I'll turn you guys up. So, which means I could also be mistaken that the field may have been a little closer too, because, you know, when you walk into like professional baseball stadiums, you go down up and down steps. Sometimes, depending on where you're at. I know Wrigley Field has steps. I've been there numerous times. What is the one the White Sox play in? Guaranteed rate field, rate field, whatever. Never guaranteed a win field. I don't know. I just know the Cubs have been kicking ass this year, and I love it. I've been in Houston watching Cubbies kick ass all year, and I'm like, I'm feeling another championship this year, but I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm not jinxing it. I'm feeling another championship. I'm feeling a 2025 championship this year. You figure we won it in 108. We won it in 1908, 2016. The next for 2025. You figure the Astros won it in, because we won it in 17 and 18, or it might be in 17 and 19. The Astros won it. I don't remember. But I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna post it. Y'all enjoy your tour of the Peaches Stadium. It's a beautiful place. When you're in Rockford, make sure you come out and see this. I gotta walk back to the truck and go take this thing to Body Lines in Belvedere.